And good day, Wareham. We are so grateful to be sitting here today to be honoring one of our own, Corporal Benjamin Baptiste. He's been selected to be the Grand Marshal for this year's annual Veterans Day Parade, and we are so excited to have him represent the veterans as we continue to honor the veterans on this very special day for our community. Before you, we have a number of honored guests. We have Master Sergeant Colleen Marble, a previous Grand Marshal from last year,
Yes.
I believe. We have Colonel Lou Ferretti, another previous Grand Marshal who has honored us with his presence and helped out with the community so much in the past. And we have Senior Master Sergeant Julio Roderick, who has been instrumental in everything that we do for veterans in this community. Colonel Ferretti, would you mind telling us what is the significance of being a Grand Marshal for the Wareham Veterans Day Parade?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be selected a Grand Marshal. And it's important for all of us to recognize that November 11th is significant because it was the date that World War I concluded, and many people who left in the service never came back. And those who came back went on to do honorable things for the country. What we should realize is that we should remember the people who have gone by over the years and always remember them and always celebrate this holiday because it's pointing out that we are protecting our country, and as we go forward, we want to continue to service our country.
Every year, the past Grand Marshals get together to select a new Grand Marshal. We've had representatives from World War II time frame, the Korean War, Vietnam era. This year, we got a younger veteran from Desert Storm, Benjamin Baptiste, and he's continuing to work with veterans as a post commander. So we're honored to have a younger veteran representing the Grand Marshal this year.
First of all, can you share a bit about your military background and what being named Grand Marshal of this year's parade means to you?
Well, a little bit of a military background. I was part of 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Hoorah for all you Marines out there. 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines is one of the most honored units in the Marine Corps. So very proud of that. We're one of the few units to wear the French Protégé, and I actually have to get mine for my uniform. But I was in, it's a grunt unit, and during my time there, as part of the VFW, you have to have some level of combat qualifying service. My qualifying service was Operation Continue Hope, and for some people who don't know what that is, right, because everybody just kind of lumps in during our time, Iraq War, a glorified version of that was the Somalia conflict, the Black Hawk Down. So that was like a glorified version of where we were during that time in Somalia. So that's the first part of your question, and then the second part of your question was what?
What's the significance of being Grand Marshal mean to you?
First of all, it's an honor. So I appreciate those that have come before me, and I think, like Julio said, I think it gives another look, right? It gives another perspective of folks that are currently serving. You know, I'm not young by any means, so I don't think it's an age thing, but I just think I offer another perspective, and people seeing me in the community, and hopefully I encourage other folks in the community that resonate with me and some of the things that that I do in the community to either serve or serve the community in some way. So I like to be an example in the community and do as much as I can. It's just an honor to be a U.S. citizen, to serve the community. So this is all part of it. I think you have an obligation. You know, when it comes to my military service and our military service, what I would want young folks to know is it starts with one thing, and that's gratitude. I think that younger folks wake up every day, and this is just kind of the expectation. This is the world I live in. I have, the world is my oyster kind of thing. And I think that if I could get more young folks to understand what goes into that comfort, right? That blanket that they put over themselves at night, that blanket of comfortability for them and their family. I think if they had a clearer perspective on the cost of that blanket, I think that we would live in a world that younger folks would have more gratitude and appreciation. And if you have more gratitude and appreciation, I think you go about conducting yourself as a whole, right? Because there's a lot of young kids doing great things, right? But collectively as a whole, I think you would approach the world in a little bit different way. So, if anything, kind of just to recap on my statement, I would think to as much as we can get younger folks to understand what this country is all about and the compromises and sacrifices that go into the freedoms that they enjoy for them and their families. I think we're always in a better place.
That's great.
So
that brings up a great point, right? Because we're talking about passing the torch on to the younger generation, making sure they understand what type of sacrifices it takes to, live the lives that we live today, right? So one of the major reasons we take this time during Veterans Day to have the parade and a ceremony and a luncheon for the veterans is to try to pass the torch and bring the young people out. So Wareham community, we would love for you to show out in force for this parade and for the ceremony on Tuesday, November 11th. The parade starts right down Main Street, starting at Merchants Way by Bessie Park, straight down Main Street to Center Park, where the Battle Monument is, across from this location at WCTV, where we will have the ceremony. So we have the passing of the sash from Colonel Lou Ferretti to Corporal Benjamin Baptiste.
Semper Fi, Marine.
Semper Fi.
From one Marine to another.
Along the neck. Yep. Perfect. How are you?
Okay, can we give him a round of applause?
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
And thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you, Wareham. We look forward to seeing you November 11th.
Please show up.